be learning about Laban's theory of movement. So, Rudolf Laban was a movement theorist. He created the Laban movements, which is a language of movement that connects to the human body. So it's basically the reasons for why you move certain ways. So why do we use these movements? Well, it's a tool used by dancers, actors, musicians, and even athletes. So it's used to look at all human movement. It's used to describe, visualize, interpret, and document all types of different movement. All right, so let's go ahead and stand up and spread out. So walk as fast as you can without bumping into each other, okay? So now let's slow it down as much as you possibly can. Even slower. Okay, so now let's try to walk as light as you possibly can, like you're connected to the heavens. It's like you don't even have a footstep. You're walking on the moon. So now walk as heavily as you can, so like you're connected to the earth. You barely take your feet off the ground. So you're a secret agent. You have somewhere to be, something to do. Know exactly where you're going. Alright, now let's walk wherever your body takes you. So it's the opposite. You have no idea where you're going, you're just walking the walk. Don't run into each other. Walk like you've just ate a massive Thanksgiving dinner. You're so full and you can barely get up and walk. Okay, so now let's walk like your bones are made of metal. So you're the Tin Man before he has any of the oil. Very stiff right now, and it's hard to move. Okay, so does anyone want to raise their hand and maybe have a guess for why we just did that?
To show a specific character?
Yeah, definitely. We're showing specific different types of characters, so how different people move, right? Cooper?
If we have a certain, like, if we're given a certain way to move, we know how to do it smoothly and correctly.
Yeah.
How to do the Laban movement?
Yeah, that's what we're getting into. Okay, so what makes up the Laban movements? So, there's a factor called space that we get to learn about. So this refers to the change in focus or attention around a space. So when you're moving indirectly, your body has a shifting focus in space. So when you were walking around aimlessly and you didn't have a place to be, and you're just kind of walking every way, your focus was shifting, right? So 1 second you'd be walking towards this way, and then you'd go there, and then over here. Whereas direct, when the focus is pinpointed and the energy is channeled into a specific area. So that would be like your secret agents. You know where you're going, you're trying to get there, you have one goal, and you're gonna reach that goal, right? So that's space. Okay, so then you have the time factor, and so how the quality of time changes throughout movement. So if you're going sustained, it's a very slow motion. So you're a slower character, you use your body more slowly, you lift your arms and legs slowly. And then quick is your fast motion. Easy enough? All right, so you have the weight factor. So the amount of force and resistance behind a movement. So if it's heavy, it's weighted down and it's difficult to move, right? You feel like you're kind of connected to the earth. It was harder to pick up your limbs, right? And then light was airy and easy. Cool. That's when you were connected to the heavens and it was like there was no gravity and you could walk wherever you wanted. So, the 8 different factors are, we're going to start with heavy. And the first one in heavy is punch. So when you do a punch movement, there's going to be a direct movement, it's going to be quick and heavy. And so now we're going to watch a video on it to kind of show you guys how it goes.
Punch.
Okay, so did anyone notice something certain about that?
It was kind of like a quick and hard movement.
It was, definitely. Ramsey?
Like they were bringing something down.
Yeah,
It was direct movement.
it was. It was very direct.
It was like were they did it very quickly?
It was all very
They
quick
were
motions.
different.
Yeah, they all did it differently, and you can do that differently.
They were all like, it looked like they were hitting the air really, really hard.
So they were doing the punching movement, right? All right, so on to the next one. So, is everyone spread out?
Yes, they were.
All right. So let's practice a punch. So don't just use your hands. Let's use your feet too. So after you get into the motion, start walking around, doing it with your whole entire body. Remember, punch was very direct and quick and heavy. So go on to glide. Remember, use your whole body. What type of characters did we say use this? Yeah, definitely, all of those. So now we're going to talk about its connection to acting, okay? So when you're creating a character, what mannerisms do you create? Does someone want to explain that question? No one. Anders?
Well, kind of like when you are creating a character, you have to kind of create the way it like walks and how it like moves.
Exactly, right? So what do you create when you're making a character? Cooper?
You create the way it moves and how it acts and its
Perfect.
movements of it.
Yeah. So someone think back to your mask project. What type of character did you have?
Mine was like very, very quick and I was like very jumpy, so I probably said
Slash. Okay. We're using this to show the expression of our character's feelings. So when you're playing sad, mad, or in love, how do you show that? Not just with your dialogue and your talking.
You use the body's movement, like how you move, like shows like when you're mad, like so.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
you're sad, you hold your hand down.
Yeah. So if you're mad, which one do you think you would be using?
Punch.
Maybe punch? Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
How did I know? Okay, so now what you're going to do is with your partner, you're going to come up with different characters doing one of these motions, and you're going to come up with a little skit by yourselves, okay? So come up with your own story like you did for the movement project, and come up with very different characters, okay? Yeah, get up and then you slowly just like curl up. Okay, so let's try it.
Who are you?
Bippity boppity boo.
Why did you freeze me?
Oh, my money!
Don't make me turn you into a frog, little boy.
Okay, we're done.
Okay, so does anyone want to guess on what they were? Paris, what was yours?
I think Cooper was rings because he was
Exactly.
opening the money
She got it right?
box.
Perfect. Okay, what about Anders?
I think Anders was maybe Slash.
What were you? She was float. Okay, so what do you think she could have done to be more known as float? She could have been more slower. Okay.
She was very fast. That's like
Oh, you're good.